think we are being honest with ourselves if we say that a lot of people don't position themselves, especially people who studied agriculture who are in this field. I have a couple of friends who've started very noble initiatives after school. I have a couple of friends that have actually taken up agriculture as full-time job. You understand? Across the whole entire value chain of agriculture. I have a friend who owns a very big farm. He even went as far as mobilizing us, like his colleagues, getting us to be a part of the farm by providing us with interest, asking us to invest and giving us back the interest. He's been doing very well so far. But if you should ask that guy if he would like to continue what he's doing, I don't think he will. The challenges are enormous. The challenges are enormous. So even if you're passionate about agriculture, even if you want to go into agriculture, it's not, no matter the value chain you are in, it is not, it is volatile. It is more volatile than any other business. Agribusiness is so more volatile than any other business. And agribusiness, you can't really understand it by studying it in school. You need a medium. You need, like what AgroHive is doing. You need a medium like this that can better expose, because it's one thing to study, it's one thing to have the plans, it's one thing to get a plot of land that you do for 1 year, like during the practical session, during the CWS a year. You plant, and but you will not really understand the business aspects of agribusiness. So in that case, a lot of agricultural graduates, I do tell people that we don't really need a lot of people in agriculture for us to be food sufficient. We don't need a lot of people in agriculture. We are not, from time immemorial, we have not, as a people, been doing the right thing. When I was in my first year, second year, okay, I actually thought agricultural economics is not really about farming. I went into agricultural economics because I thought it's just the economics aspect of agriculture that you won't really be involved in the farming. And then during my fourth year in school, I got involved in the farming. I did not like farming. I've never been to the farm until my fourth year. It was a tedious process for me. It was really tedious. But then my passion for agriculture grew when I saw my crops begin to germinate. I think I can speak the same for a lot of my other colleagues. Our passion for agriculture increased. Some of us did not even have the passion for agriculture. When we got in and we saw that, yeah, it's not really about the book, the reading, you actually need to practicalize it. But when we began to, there is this feeling you have when what you sow begins to germinate, begins to grow, and then you nurture it. It's just like raising a baby, raising a child. You begin to nurture it. Do you understand? So our passion, a lot of us, our passion for agriculture grew in our fourth year. Our fourth year is the practical year in school. Our passion for agriculture grew. I did not like agriculture at all. Now, what happened to us after school? No opportunity to align yourself. After 5 years in school, you don't really have enough time again to start to start building your dream, because you need to your years are really gone. It's not like I'm making excuses though, but your years are really gone, and you don't really have the opportunity, the luxury of time to begin to nurture dreams. Even if you nurture dream, nurture passion, you need something sustainable, something that can sustain you. Because after school, you're not expected to still be sponsored by anyone. You're expected to stand on your own. So even if you have passion for something, if that passion is not paying, if the passion is not paying, I'm telling you, the passion is going to die, because you are going to look for another means to sustain yourself. So after school, we thought of, I've been there. You talk about agropreneur. I've been there. I think I've been there. I've done that. I've farmed. I've done business in that. I've done agri transportation. In fact, right now I'm doing palm oil processing. I process palm oil and sell. So I've been there in this agribusiness. I think I I have a voice in it because I've been there, I've done that. I want to tell you that yes, what you've said is cool. Everything you've said is cool. If we actually imbibe it, we could go a long way. But that is not really the issue. We have not really tackled the main issue. Like I was saying, after school, after our 5 years, a lot of us did not even know what to do again. We decided to pursue the passion. A lot of us went into agri consultancy and the rest of it. I have a lot of friends that did go into agri consultancy, but it wasn't coming for the money was not coming forth. And then we did not have, you know how Nigerian school system is. There is no much mentorship. Even the lecturers are not doing well themselves, so they can't really mentor. There were no opportunities like that. Even if they were, we were not aware. So, like, I want to charge organizations like AgroHive to not just hold webinars. They should go to schools of agriculture, go to reach out to students, try to see the ones that have that passion. Because basically, like I said, agribusiness is volatile, and it's only passion that can sustain you in agribusiness. If you're going into agribusiness with the idea of making profit, you will not you will not stay for long, because when the frustrations begin to set in, you would want to look elsewhere. So first of all, you get people that have the passion, these students that have this passion, you see that passion, you begin to groom them. You begin to groom them in agribusiness. Provide them with stipend, a little stipend, even if it's a volunteering role. To get a volunteering role is even very hard. I'm also in the development sphere, so I understand what I'm saying. I'm more into sustainable agriculture. I've worked with NGOs, so I know what I'm saying. Even getting a volunteer role in an NGO is tough, even less of getting an internship role. So I want to challenge organizations like AgroVive to make it easier for agri graduates. Go into these schools, pick these talents, see the people that are passionate about this agriculture, and groom them. Another thing I want to talk about is collaboration. I don't think you've mentioned that. All of us here, for the fact that we attended this webinar, we are passionate about the subject. So we should encourage collaborations between ourselves. I have a lot of I was privileged to be exposed to some international what's it called pardon me international internship programs, basically fellowship. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. International fellowship, where I got contacts. I got connects with people from other countries, and then we've been initiating some ideas and the rest of it. I think this type of thing should also be encouraged. Collaboration is part of the SDGs. I think it's the 17th SDG. It is very important because nobody is an island. So AgroVive should also encourage collaboration. I was expecting you to say that also. I've seen that we have a WhatsApp group. We can actually go on from there, encourage each of us to collaborate. Because if you want to do it alone, I'm telling you, agriculture is frustrating. If you want to practicalize it, agribusiness, whatever you call it, could be very frustrating. So I expose each other to where we can get funding opportunities, because you can't, no matter the ideas you have, without the funding, it's next to naught. So I think I've spoken too much. I don't know if if I've been talking to myself all along, but this is a subject I'm very passionate about. So you have to excuse you have to excuse my tone. I don't know how my tone sounded, but you have to excuse it, please. Sorry, I don't know if I'm talking to myself or someone can hear me.
I got
You
you. So
can
thank
hear you.
you
Okay.
so much.
So
Yeah,
let me
can you
not
hear
take
me?
much of your time. Yeah. That's what I wanted to say.
Um
Thank you very much.
yes, thank you. So can so we've heard you. It sounded more like a recommendation and you're just stating your mind, but just to be sure that we're on the same page, can you just give us like a one sentence of the exact question that you want the facilitator to speak to?
I think
Well,
I've
mine
figured
wasn't
it out.
really a question. But if I am to ask a question, I want to ask what like he said he's with IITA. what is he doing, if whether in his personal capacity or as an organization, to encourage young talents, young agricultural graduates to take up agriculture, or young graduates basically, even if it's not agricultural graduates that are passionate about agribusiness, to take up agriculture. What is he doing? Because I don't know. Imagine if he wasn't with
Thank
IITA. I don't know if he would have been our facilitator today. So that's the first point. The second point was just me suggesting that we need to talk more about collaborations. We need to hammer more on the fact that we need to come together. We need to collaborate with each other. So it's more mine was more of a suggestion than a
Okay.
question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Godfrey. I just needed to be sure. Okay, please you can lower your hands. And yeah, so I'm not sure if you joined in earlier. Earlier we were playing videos from AgroHive YouTube channel of different persons that had volunteered with AgroHive or had intern with AgroHive. Okay, sorry, let me just make sure you can see me. So earlier on, we had shared videos of from AgroHive YouTube page. They will be dropping the link on the chat box soon of different persons who had volunteered with AgroHive. I also had volunteered with AgroHive. I'm also still volunteering with AgroHive. Yes, so AgroHive offers volunteering opportunities for individuals based on certain skill sets, and we are I'm not sure if if you joined in earlier when we were also doing the presentation of what AgroHive does and how we actually do what we do. So I'll hand over to Oni Waid also to answer your question of how he's actually playing his part to also upskill individuals. I don't know if he wants to answer that question now or you want to answer all the questions together.
Okay, I don't know. Let me take one more so that if there are similar questions, and we can take two.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I'm saying gospel so that we don't.
Yes. No problem. Thank you. Okay, Christine, I saw your hand first. You can unmute your mic.
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the speaker of this program, Oniwahi. Um, though the question which I wanted to ask, I've dropped it in the chat box, but it seems like no one has been able to attend to it. So we also like to speak directly to the presenter or the facilitator. So my question is, though as an agriculture graduate, because when I first got admission into the university, the course which I was given is not actually the course which I intended to study in the school. Because when I was in secondary school, I have passion in technology, so I always dream of becoming a computer scientist or something of that nature. So during the time I wrote down, so my score wasn't enough to secure that particular course from me. So I was pushed to agriculture, precisely to study crop production and landscape management. Then I was also given an option where if I'm able to make a 2-1 in my second year, in that particular course, I'll be able to switch from that course to any other course of my choice, which I was eager to do. But after my year 1, 200 level, I was able to make the 2-1 though, but at that particular point in
Sorry,
time, I was
apologies for coming in. Please, can you? I'm just looking at others' questions and trying to respond. Can you be more specific to the
okay.
questions so that
So
we can? Yeah, thank you.
my, so my question is, because I also have a passion for tech, I wanted to enroll I wanted to go into data as a data analyst. So the recent program which we did in our state, I applied as a data analyst. Therefore, fortunately for me, I wasn't selected. Then I was trying to make inquiries. So from the response I got is agriculture is not that close or related to data analysis, because I know that this is actually a skill. So my question is, I wanted to ask, does it mean that as a data analyst, you don't have any opportunities in agri-food sector or in agribusiness career? So I wanted to ask. So that's my question. As a
Thank
data analyst,
you.
does it
Yeah, thank you
any
so much, Christian. That is noted. Over to you, Khadija. You can mute your mic now, Christian, and lower your hand. Over to you,
Okay,
Khadija.
good afternoon, everybody. I thank the facilitator for his presentation. I actually missed the better part of the presentation. So you pardon me if my question has already been answered during the course of the presentation. So my question is that it will go in line with what the first questioner actually supposed that I think is supposed to ask. Now everybody is saying agribusiness, agricultural value chain, this, that. My own question is for somebody that has passion in production, actual agricultural production, do you think that they have an edge at all? Because everybody is looking at people that are in production as if they don't know what they are doing. This one will come and say there are better opportunities. You can go into processing, go into branding, go into mechanization. What happens to people that have passion for production? Because if they don't produce, what are the other people along the value chain going to work with? So I'm asking as a youth, do you think it is reasonable or do you think it will work if a person has a passion for production, given the current Nigerian agricultural environment? That's my first question. My second question is that for students in agricultural extension and rural development, we know that we have been given many other options, except the actual agricultural extension work actually. So I want to ask, do you think that private extension services have a room in Nigeria at all? Will it work? And if it will work, what partnership options do you think these people can work with for them to get funding to start out, either as a private organization now or as an NGO? Do you think it can work given the current environment we have with the rural dwellers and the likes? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Khadija. Gospel, are you able to ask your question now?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon, Gospel.
Okay, mine is more of like a contribution. When the first, sorry if I can't recall your name, you said something about the speaker working in ITA and also opportunities that he might have also leveraged on. So I was opportune to meet someone who also studied Agric extension, and he came to me. He said, "You're lucky." And I was like, what do you mean by lucky? Yeah, you read the same course, and some of my mates or colleagues are working in bank and other sectors, but you still have that privilege of working in an agricultural sector, although it's not in the field of your study. So what I'm just trying to say is that yeah, agricultural the business and all that. Yeah, there are other opportunities, just as he has mentioned, in agribusiness and in agriculture. So we shouldn't just leverage only on the processing aspect. So there are other things, just like Khadija also asked the question on the production. So also looking at that of the farmers, how we can also help in these various sectors in this value chain. So this is just what I feel like I can say, that we shouldn't just be only on the product aspect. There are different categories and opportunities out there. And I feel that Wahid can also stretch or mention some of those collaborative platforms or opportunities that we can also like leverage on.
Thank you so much, Gospel, and this is really noted. So do we have any other questions before I hand over to the facilitator for today? Okay, in the absence of any other question, over to you, Mr. Wahid.
Okay, so you
I
permit
have
me
all the
to share my screen.
questions
Yes, I noted the
for you
question,
in your
but you
chat
can.
box. Yeah, good.
Yeah. So please, let me just quickly share my screen to to better explain some things, and then
You can share your screen now.
okay, okay, okay. So let me start from where. Yes, let me start from this careers in agribusiness. So the first thing we need to understand from this webinar is that we are looking at exploring career opportunities in agribusiness. So we must understand that the opportunities we are looking at is not only for a business startup, but also we are also looking at you know um, job, actual job in terms of employment now within the sector. And then again, I try as much as possible to also demystify that when we talk about agriculture, agribusiness, yes, farming has a component, it is a bigger component, but they are not the same thing. I totally love the example given by by the first speaker, and you cannot give. I can't understand less because I also went to University of Agriculture, so it's a first-hand experience. Even having spent so many years on the farm, while growing up, and then coming to IIT. So I see the up, middle, down, and then the global practice. So moving ahead, if we have understand that what we are discussing here is about jobs, and then if you want to go with the respect of you starting up a business, where do you start from? So that is where my discussion started from. And then this discussion around passion and satisfaction. The question here is that the current state of the nation, what is the role of passion and satisfaction with respect to jobs? So we need to place them side by side. And that is why when you look at the second point, I said sustainable income and livelihood. So if your passion will be that some are very, you can't hold anyone to say, yes, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to be on my own. Yes, if you have passion for that, then so be it. So I will not want to beg the question, but I'll just go straight. I just want to give that, preambles so that we can better understand ourselves. So I'll answer the question in no particular order. So the person that asked question regarding the role of data analytics in agriculture, having applied for a job and they are saying it's far from agriculture, that is part of CV standardization because the I told you that there are a lot of automated processes now with respect to recruitment. So when you are applying for a position that has to do with data analytics, then in your CV, what you have there is BSc or B. It's just it, instead of using, for example, I'm just giving an insight as to what is happening. So if the machine recognize bachelor in agricultural in animal science, you might be totally out of context. They might just throw you out because you are not fit. It's too far away. But in those kind of job, you just mention bachelor's degree. Are you with me? During the time of interaction and co, you can go into details when you are being selected or something. You can go into details why you feel you are fit, even with respect to the fact that you studied agriculture. But while you are applying, many of us we do mistake by using the same CV format for all kind of jobs. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There are a lot of transitioning. So when you are applying for a job that require coding and co, and you have skills in coding, your BSc in agriculture has to be silent because they are looking for people that have either background in computer science and co. However, you have the skills, which is what is needed, not the degree. So you have to respond according to the job you are applying for. So just to cap it all, every profession that exists in the world today has a role to play in agriculture. They have their place. Name it: cargo, you are a pilot, you are this, you are that, security, whatsoever you want to mention, you have a role to play. Technology development, storage, you have a role to play, irrespective of your gender. So that is number one. The second issue that we have to also pay attention to is that don't let us worry ourselves with what we cannot control. Many a times we spend time. Yes, I agree with the speaker. There are a lot of issues within the ag sector, but many of these issues we cannot solve. So we look at issues where we, at least with our strength, we can make a difference. Even with us even still having a job, we still have issues, we still complain, but there are things that we can control, there are things we can't control. So you work within the sphere of your control. We have been complaining about ASU for a long time. What is my business? We have been complaining about economic instability for a long time. What can I do? So my advice is that let's look at, like I mentioned, we need to look at our area of strength and then look at what we cannot control. And that is why they call it external factors. We can only manage the situations, manage ourselves, find our way out of those situations. But um, that's number one. So the genesis of our problem, yes, many of us study agriculture, either we love it by passion and co. But the point is that in the first instance, nobody should be selected. If you don't pick agriculture as your first choice, you shouldn't be selected. That is where we have the issues from the set go. You want to study medicine, but because you cannot marry medicine, then you send it to faculty of agric, like a dumping site. But this, I don't have control over that. That is the genesis of our problem. You want to become an engineer, and then you cannot merit engineering. At that point in time, they send you to faculty of agric. It shouldn't work that way. Does that mean that only mediocre study agric? Does that mean that only mediocre should study agric? No. So my point is, all this has been happening for so long, and we have little. We can only, until we get to some levels that we can make some influence. These are not issues that are coming for an individual. It's an institutional based decisions. That's the way they do across the nation. Even in Funan, that they should prioritize people that apply for agricultural courses. If you fail agricultural engineering, then they can send you to agricultural economics or agricultural extension or something. And you shouldn't. Is that your passion? I don't know. Maybe along the way you develop your passion. So yes, let's give priority to people that are into production. One thing is that we are not, as an advocate of agribusiness or professional pathway in agriculture, we are not saying people should run away from core production. But the point is, we need to understand the risk factor. You that just finished NYSC, and the only money you save and everything you want to pump into production. Yes, you can, but the point is, what is the risk level? I just came back from Ekiti, drive through Elisha, Ekiti, come back to Ondo and Co. And I saw a lot of plantation that already been affected by the early drought because they feel the rain has started and they planted and everything is gone now. So you must understand those risks. That's what we are saying. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot get an investment, you come back and say agriculture doesn't work or that. Yes, understand the risk. And we are not the manufacturer of those risks. And that is why, yes, people still make it in production. Yes. But one thing about production activity is that it requires first understanding the dynamics of the production activities. Again, understand the risk involved. And also, it is not about quit. Because the more you do, the more you understand. Like I mentioned, you already know that accessing finance in Nigeria is a big deal. It's a big deal. So production activities, yes, a lot of people still make it. In fact, a lot of players are still within the production sector of agric. But for us that are just coming up, yes, if you are driven by passion and you have enough resources to, ameliorate the risk, manage the risk, then of course, if you don't have primary producers, what will the processors, what will they do? So we are just saying, understand what you are going into, so that when you get your fingers burnt, you know reasons why. Yes, another question on collaboration. Fantastic. Yes, you cannot, in fact, you cannot go far without collaborating with people. And again, maybe probably most of our thinking process goes around, yes, it's my business. You are the CEO, you are the director, you want to do it alone, you want to go alone. We encourage, partnerships, collaboration within groups, and then also external partnership with existing structures and institutions. I'll just give you an example of someone that we trained in 2020. He came all the way from Ondo State, came to Oyo, where we have the training. The training went for 3 months. He went back. Yes, we have issues, getting funding for him, but through the collaboration, like you mentioned, he also collaborated with the IFAD Life ND project for the Niger Delta region and co. And when I got to his farm, he has been able to leverage resources because they saw that this person is not a farmer by book. He's really doing it. And from what I saw, that investment goes to the tune of millions for free. So through the work ban assisted project and co. The point is, yes, there will be a lot of people that fails. And again, we also are going to be having champions. The question is, how do I become a champion? What can I do to become a champion? What will be my role to support you? Those are things that we need to answer. Well, let me add that to the question of what am I been doing with respect to my role in IT. Yes, I'm a project manager, and then we work within the confines of what the project, expectations and objectives are. We work with youth within the age of 18 to 29, and then we have some projects that are doing like what AgroHive is doing, acceleration for people that are already in business that are lacking one capacity. They train them and then help connect with available resources. And we also have some of our training that is solely for facilitating access to job. And that has been we have been getting some tangible results from that. And access to job, that I mean, there are a lot of modalities working with the private sectors for them to be able to create that job that we emphasize for our training. So for some of you that might be interested in our program, you can also follow us on social media, IT Agric Opinions. You see anytime we have training programs that you can apply for. So that has been my role, and I've been coordinating activity that spans over different states in Nigeria. Yes, we have failures, then we have people that we are celebrating today. Of course, there are lots of there are two ways to it. Again, I think I've answered the aspect of engaging young people. One thing that we
Yes,
emphasize so much in our training is this mindset thing. The issue of stipend, have it's a good thing, but at some point it has also been bastardized by some of our seeming young people that think that some of these programs they are national cake that are really entitled to this, and a lot has happened. Some go as far as sending email to various quarters complaining and co. So my point is, we might be struggling at this point in time, but what I'm saying with passion is that within the sphere of agri-food value chain, you can get a sustainable income and you can also have a sustainable business. How is that going to happen? It require it require consultations, it require backstopping, it also require some sort of institutional support. However, I will be available at any point in time. You can also reach out to me via my LinkedIn, Oniwahid, if you have any specific questions regarding how the kind of support I can have. Again, let's look at non-conventional career pathways within the agribusiness space. And I've already mentioned some of which that she mentioned: monitoring and evaluation, data analytic, communication, a whole lot of other non-conventional. Yeah, so I'm not saying yes, you study Agric economics, yes, and then that is no. Now we need to look at our certificate, look at what we have gathered so far, and see how do we chart new pathway for ourselves. That is the reality. The time of you study water resources and there are jobs within Federal Ministry of Works, water, is no longer there. So thank you very much. I'll stop at this point in time. If there are any
Thank
specific
you
questions, you can
so
reach out to
much,
me.
Mr. Waid, for the insightful words that you've shared with us. And I'm sure that you've done justice, even from my end.
Sorry, Rebecca, I missed out one, and that is for a private extension. Yes, we already
Okay.
have numerous private extension organizations that are working very well in Nigeria. One is Extension Africa. You can understudy them, see what they are doing, how are they offering their service. They have been able to benefit from a lot of investment from international NGO, because as we speak now, the only uh, the only state that is doing well with respect to extension service is one farmer to 3,000, and one extension agent to 3,000 farmers. And that is huge gap. How do we expect one person to manage effectively 3,000 people? So in some states we have 1 to 20,000. So this is huge gap. How do you come into the sector and play meaningful role? That is a job of you and I. You need to think critically, look at the existing structure, what are they doing? There is nothing wrong um in emulating people. You just need to have your own ingredient to make you unique within your operation. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Waid. Can you please stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, I will.
And I'm sure you've done justice to the questions. So I'll be inviting the founder and CEO of AgroHive to just also share insights into some of these questions. So she's Chiamaka Unduku, and Chiamaka Unduku is an independent consultant, and she has and a development professional with over 10 years of experience in the social impact sector. She's currently pursuing a graduate degree in the of Florida, and her research actually focused on international workforce development for the agricultural sector. And in 2022, she became the youngest delegate for um, Kala. Kala is the Center for African Leaders in Agriculture. So she will be unmuting her mic and also sharing some insights into the questions that we have. And while she's sharing her insights, please, we can scan the QR code here to give feedback, or also the link in the chat box. Yeah. Over to you, Chiamaka. She's the reason why we are here.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I was really trying to hide and see how everything goes. But Rebecca had to bring me, she had to look for my trouble really this afternoon. And before I say anything,
You're welcome, ma.
I want to really thank Mr. Oni Wahid for the amazing work done. Like, being like part of this, listening to what has been said, um, learning from your wealth of knowledge has really brought in like so much joy and reminds me really of why we do what we do and why we started what we started years back. So thank you so much, Mr. Oni Wahid. And I hope that everyone on this call has learned something really critical about building careers in agriculture from this coaching session with Mr. Oni Wahid. So just to like add to some of what Mr. Oni has said, when it comes to, I know someone asked a question about how to build so how to like build a career that is focused on tech, specifically data analysis within the ag sector. It's actually very possible to do that because there are a lot of agricultural graduates who currently have skills in tech and are working for tech companies. And you all will agree with me that within the past few years, we've seen a lot of agri-tech companies, that is, companies that are focused on using technology in providing agricultural services. We've seen a lot of agri-tech companies come forward. Even the Extension Africa, Mr. Oni Wahid mentioned, the founder is someone I know. He's also part of our Kala fellows, and I met him last year. He's super young, and he's building a very great platform that utilizes technology as well. So in these instances, agricultural graduates with tech skills are even the most hired by agri-food businesses. They are the ones agricultural, that they are the ones that look out for tech people and hire them to work for them and pay them times, if not times 10, times 5 of what an average agricultural graduate would earn. And the reason the reason for this is that they find that they understand how valuable tech skills are. But imagine in a situation whereby we don't have agricultural graduates with the tech skills, it means that they would go outside to hire. And then assume that you were the one that built yourself and developed these tech skills by taking courses and going for extra classes, right? Imagine that you were the one that did this and they hired you. It means that your opportunity to earn better or build a solid career in tech would be bigger. Now, let's not talk about the agri-tech companies because a lot of you will be asking where they are. Let's also focus on most of the big employers of tech graduates, especially those that have agric knowledge in Nigeria or data analysts, because we have a lot of NGOs that have programs focused on agriculture. And because they have programs focused on agriculture, they do a lot of impact evaluation. And they cannot do impact evaluation without analyzing the data from their impact programs. This makes hiring a data analyst really, really, really a big deal for NGOs. And you and I know that NGOs pay bigger than a lot of companies. An NGO can pay a data analyst from the least salary can actually be 400K or 300K. I'm saying this because I have worked with NGOs in the past and I know what people earn. And it can go up as high as over 1 million, really, based on your experience. I am not joking. I'm not trying to get you all excited. I'm talking about reality. So when you have an agricultural background and you have these skills, it makes you the better option when it comes to hiring, because sometimes they don't hire agricultural graduates in these NGOs because they don't see agricultural graduates with these skills and other soft skills to complement these skills to hire. And this is not just about tech too. We have program management. The big one is grant writing. A lot of NGOs, they are looking for grant writers. especially ag grant writers, a lot of impact organizations, a lot of agribusiness consulting firms. They're looking for grant writers with skills and background in agriculture. This is just like few of what I can share when it comes to opportunities that exist with technology and having other competencies and having other like career traction that you've built to help you like assess better opportunities in the ag career sector. Then someone talked about for people that are interested in production, are there opportunities for them? Of course, there are opportunities for you. What other people have done is that they have really been intentional about partnerships, which has been mentioned here. Because if you're into production, you should understand that production requires a lot of money. And unfortunately, we live in a country that does not often provide agricultural graduates or young people with sufficient funding to go into ag business. And even when you go into ag business with money, you should know that it's also a risky venture. We should all be honest with ourselves, right? And the funny thing is not just in Africa. Coming to the United States, I realized that we have similar challenges, really. The producers have similar challenges. So naturally, agribusiness production is like a risky venture. You can make good money from it, but before you can actually succeed in it, you have to be clear on what it is you want to do, who your market is, how you want to sell to them, how you want to set your pricing, how you want to survive in case of a disaster, which you cannot even control as an agribusiness owner, right? And then another question that came is about private extension services. And Mr. Oni already mentioned about Extension Africa, which is doing a very big job in Nigeria and Africa at large when it comes to extension services. They have the most structured extension service in Nigeria. So it's something you can also look up. And that is the only structured way I've seen extension really makes sense in Nigeria and in Africa. And if we have more information, it would also be shared with you via your email. So feel free to fill the feedback form so that we can have your contact and send other information to you. Rebecca, I don't know if this clearly answers some of the questions, and if it doesn't, I'm happy to like add to what has been said already.
Thank you so much, Chiamaka. Yeah, it does answer the questions. And again, thank you so much, Mr. Oniwaid, for your time, for coming, and we really appreciate you. So before we wrap up today's session, I would like 2 to 3 persons to please signify and just share their feedback. Really, I know we are filling the feedback form. Although I've only received 5 responses, and we are 16, 15, 14 on this call. So I'm hoping that I'll get at least 2/3 of us fill this feedback form before we wrap up. But then, can we have 2 to 3 persons just use the raise hand feature, and I call them, and they really tell us what they've learned, how they found the webinar, and yeah, and also how they found the webinar, what they've learned. Even if it's that you joined during the question Q&A, probably you've gained insight into certain things that you like to share with us as a whole. Okay, so I have Adamu one. Can I have another person raise up his or her hand before I call Adamu? So Adamu, hold on before you speak. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
can we have hold on before you speak. Can we have 2 more persons or 1 more person? So if only 1 person is saying they've learned today, it means that we did not learn anything. And we spent 2 hours today. Please, 1 more person. Okay, so I'll just call it to know if nobody raises up your hand. Okay, Adamu, we can have you now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, all.
What did you
Are
say,
you
Adam?
hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I said, yeah, good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, Adamu. Please, where are you joining us from?
Yeah, I'm joining you from Bauchi, but
Bauchi,
recently I'm in Damaturu. Yeah,
Yobe State.
yes, Yobe State.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what happened is that the something is just a magic to me. Yesterday I just opened my Facebook, seeing some of my posting. So I now encountered of that your program. I register it. I make it my alarm to see whether I have the available in around that time to listen to your webinar. So the opportunity, actually, I learned so much. I have so many gap knowledge, but from your listening to your webinar, I learned so much. So what I am saying now the world is global, the world is connected. So don't leave your mindset or knowledge to be wasted. What you see something that you can have a passion with it, try to grab it so you can get something inside. So that is my word.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adamu. I am thrilled. First off, to hear that you're joining us from Yobe State, even though you are from Bauchi, I'm so excited to hear that. Thank you so much for joining today's call. Just one more question for you. Have you joined the AgroHive WhatsApp group?
Yes, I just joined it. Once I saw the link you posted, I joined the WhatsApp group.
Thank you so much. And have you also filled the feedback form for today?
Yes, what happened of the feedback form? I tried to open it, couldn't open. I don't know what is the challenge.
Oh, okay. Is anyone also experiencing that same challenge? Thank you so much,
I
Adamu.
saw
Thank you.
somebody posted on the chat this thing.
Yeah, a new link has been shared. Can you confirm if we can access that link? Another link has been shared
It's
for
okay.
people
Let
that.
me let me try it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Adamu. Okay, so can we have one more person signify? Okay, in the absence of any further insights, thank you so much, Mr. Oniwaid. For today, we're happy to have you, and we all learned. For me, it's you demystified a lot of things, saying agriculture is different from agribusiness, and that the main thing really in career opportunities in agribusiness is having sustainable income and livelihood, and that's a take home for me. That's a take home for me. So yeah, and for everyone who has joined today, thank you. Please don't forget to fill the feedback form. That's where you have access. So filling the feedback form gives you access to one module of our agro skill up course. Yeah, it gives you access to one module of our agro skill up course, and that's the particular one that speaks to career opportunities in agriculture, the program management, data analytics, a lot of things. So please fill in the feedback form so you can have access to that. Yeah. So thank you to the AgroHive team also, and for everyone who joined this call. And one last thing, please follow on our social media pages. The handles have been shared on the chat. And you can also make posts about your learnings from today on social media. Kindly tag AgroHive, kindly tag our speaker. And yeah, so thank you so much and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Oh, let's take
Yes,
group
bye bye.
pictures before everybody goes. Please, can you what's this? Can you, yeah, put on your camera, put on your video so I can take a group picture. And if you are unable to put on your video, there's no problem. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Okay. Is anyone okay to know? I'm waiting for it to know then. Okay, it's know is still coming up. Okay, it's no won a prize today, courtesy of Mr. Waid.
Send me your account details.
So
I'll do that.
I have a phone number. I will chat her up and get the details across to you.
All right.
So it's no please can I see your face again? You're blocking your screen. So I can take the picture now. Okay, thank you. Okay. Bye everyone, and looking forward to having you. Looking forward to reading your insight from today's webinar on LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever social media platform you really do use. Yeah. So we're having another epic career session soon. Please fill the feedback form so we can also know the type. So we can also know what you want us to speak on in the next epic career session. So, bye everyone. You can meet your mic and say bye too, so I will know you heard me.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone. Thank you for this
Bye.
program.
Thank you for today.
Bye.
All right, bye.